Hello, I'm Tap G.
And I'm Surfer Clock.
And welcome to What's the Attraction?
Where our work is your vacation.
Disney is really good at one thing above all else, and that's reaching deep inside our souls and revealing our innermost desires. And exploiting them for all it's worth.
Wow. That's, I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit harsh.
But it's true though, isn't it?
Well, sure, I suppose, but...
Okay, quick. What is the number one wish many kids, and probably most adults, have ever had in their life?
Flying.
Wow! What a terrific lead-in for today's discussion. I never would have guessed this show was scripted.
Really? Fourth wall jokes? Kind of beneath us, don't you think?
You know what? They are beneath us. Let's fly over them. Yeah, flight is one of mankind's most purest and most idyllic of childhood dreams. To be unburdened by gravity and to have complete mastery of the wild blue yonder.
And yes, Disney certainly has used this one a lot. Dumbo, Peter Pan, Mary Poppins, Aladdin and his magic carpet, The Eagle and the Rescuers, Down Under, even Pooh just floating under a helium balloon, have all illustrated, literally in most cases, the grandeur, the escapism, and the absolute liberalism of swooping and soaring over terra firma.
For over 40 years, the closest Disney came to a ride involving flight is the still operational Peter Pan's flight in Magic Kingdom's Fantasyland. Until now. This is the story of Soarin'.
In the mid-1990s, when Disney Imagineers were drafting rides for Disney's California Adventure, one section of the park was to be dedicated to the history of man-powered flight. But problems ensued. Loading and unloading were at the top of that list. After all, they planned on the ride system being akin to a dry cleaning rack. The project looked dead from the get-go. Enter
Imagineer Mark Sumners. In traditional Disney lore, one Thanksgiving week at his parents' house, he discovered his old erector set in the attic. Intrigued, he played around with the pieces until, voila! He built a miniature but fully functional model of today's attraction. Using a simple winch and pulley system, the guests would effortlessly be lifted off their feet and find themselves rocking gently over some of California's most breathtaking scenery.
Yeah, like Napa Valley, Redwood Circle, San Diego, Malibu, Los Angeles, and even Disneyland during Christmas time.
I believe it was Redwood Creek, wasn't it?
Redwood Creek?
Yeah, Redwood Creek. Sorry about Creek. I'm sorry about that. Impressed with Sumner's model, the Imagineers went to work, and on opening day, February 8, 2001, Soarin' over California opened to a very warm reception. And considering Disney California Adventure got lukewarm reviews at best on opening day, that's impressive.
And just 4 years later, Disneyland, the park that started it all, reached its golden 50th anniversary. And they wanted to share the happy occasion with anyone who visited any Disney park around the world. Here in Walt Disney World, the Magic Kingdom Park got a stage show called Cinderellabration. Disney's Hollywood Studios got Lights, Motors, Action, Extreme Stunt Show. Disney's Animal Kingdom got Expedition Everest. And Epcot surrendered its dated Food Rocks Attraction stage show and replaced it with Soarin'. The name shortening was necessary due to the theme now being that you're flying to California, not just above it.
Other than that, almost nothing else was changed. Even the building was recreated exactly like California's plans. Next time you go, check out the heavy-set braces on the supports. They're meant to deter California's often violent earthquakes.
They even used the same actor, Patrick Warburton, to deliver his safety spiel. Animation fans will recognize him as his bass vocals as Kronk in Disney's The Emperor's New Groove, and Joe Swanson, the paraplegic cop in Fox's Family Guy. Originally, Disney wanted certified pilot John Travolta, but he had to decline due to a scheduling conflict. Let's hope it wasn't Battlefield Earth he chose over this.
But what makes this ride so breathtaking, it has nothing to do with Sumner's ride system, the building structure, or Patrick's appearance. Disney hired IMAX to use their specially designed panoramic cameras to shoot all the breathtaking sights of the Golden State. In your suspended seat, an estimated 80 feet off the ground, you then hang over a massive quarter-dome IMAX screen, and you gasp with delight as the Golden Arch of San Francisco opens up before you. McDonald's.
Golden Gate Bridge?
Agree to disagree.
And that's not all. Your seat rocks side to side in time to the camera's movements, and even better still, over certain scenes, a fan above your head releases gentle whiffs of pine, orange, and even sea salt during the appropriate scenes.
I always get so relaxed during Soarin'. It's like the Disney Imagineering form of aromatherapy. What do you think, Surfer Clock?
Oh, Soarin' is probably absolutely one of my favorite rides in the entire of Walt Disney World altogether.
I don't think it's a stretch to say it's the best attraction at Epcot.
Definitely the best attraction at Epcot. I can't, like, I always get this really giddy feeling. It's whenever I'm riding it. It's just, you think about flying and, it's typically, the stuff reserved for dreams.
Yeah.
So here you have a chance to experience what it's like just to fly.
It's really hard to replicate something like that in real life, just to be completely unburdened. I mean, you can have the wind blowing in your face, but you also need to feel like you're weightless as well. Just the way that it conducts you as you're just rocking gently side to side, and the wind blowing in your face, and just the visuals of everything just flying beneath you just makes you feel like you got no strings to pull you down.
Very nice, Pinocchio.
Thank you.
But in any case, yeah, Soarin' just recreates this amazing, amazing feeling of actually feeling like you're flying. There's no bones about it. I'm really struggling to find the adjectives. But incredible.
It's just amazing. We can sit right here and use all the adjectives in the book. We can dig through a thesaurus, but the fact of the matter is, we're going to strongly advise you, check this out. Yes, the line for it is always very, very long. It was almost always over an hour. And yes, the fast passes run out by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But please do yourself a favor and go to Soarin'.
Now, I'm not sure if you have any favorite scenes or not, but I know that I have at least 2 favorites.
What are they?
There's one where of course, the ending scene where you fly over, Disneyland during Christmas time.
Yes.
It's
beautiful crescendo there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. The music just crescendos, and it just finishes on such a high note. I mean, literally, you're soaring toward the sky at that point.
Yeah.
My other favorite scene is the orange groves. Mm-hmm. Being able to smell the orange groves. Now, being a native Floridian for probably a good 20 years or so, I've had a lot of opportunities to experience the smell of oranges. But, I actually haven't experienced it all that much. Mm-hmm. A fresh orange grove. And Disney did a really great job at just creating that scent. And not doing it overwhelmingly.
Yeah, it's just in the breeze.
Yeah, it's a gentle...
Or how about when you're flying over the golf course in Palm Beach and... there's that golf ball that zings right past you.
Yeah.
What is on that golf ball anyway? I try to look it, but I keep missing it.
It's a blink and you'll miss it. Hidden Mickey.
Really?
A Hidden Mickey, yes. That's actually one of 2 in that particular scene. The first one that you see actually is as you're swooping in. Look for a golf cart to your left. Somebody will be dangling out a Mickey balloon.
Oh my goodness.
Subtle.
Very.
Now, I actually heard a pretty funny rumor about the golf crew that's out there.
Yeah?
Is that Michael Eisner that swings that ball?
I've heard that rumor, too, that supposedly that is Michael Eisner as the golfer, but I did some research and found that is unfortunately untrue.
Oh.
It is the crew, however, for Soarin'.
Huh, that must have been a nice little vacation. And then somebody said, hey, let's put this in the ride. And it's probably one of the coolest scenes.
Actually, both the hang glider in Yosemite and the golf ball are computer generated.
They're CG?
They're CG.
Oh, that's cool. They look so real!
I know, right? And it just adds to the thrill, folks. This ride is just hands down amazing. There's no fault about it except the long line, but that's not the ride's fault. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5.
Woo! 5 out of 5 from Tab G.
Hey, I gave one to Toy Story, too.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And what about you?
As far as my rating, now, I've tried so hard to find faults and problems, because naturally that's what I do. I actually don't have any real problems with Soarin'. So, I'm going to award my very first 5 out of 5.
Woo! All right. You heard it right here, folks. You got 2 5 out of 5s
from both Tap G and Surfer Clock. Now, it should be mentioned that, there's a few swoops and drops, moments of near collisions, and never mind the fact that you are high above the floor. This is not meant to be a thrill ride, per se. Nothing about it is really meant to scare, startle, or surprise you, save for the golf balls.
And if you are someone who's afraid of heights, then, sit this one out.
Right. So, given the ride system's unique nature, some extra special precautions are needed for its safety measures. The height requirement is 40 inches. And Disney's 714 rule comes into play once again. Kids need to be at least 7 years old to ride alone, and if they're not, they need to ride the ride with someone who's at least 14 years of age.
Scooters, wheelchairs, and electric convenience vehicles are actually welcome into the ride's standard queue. Once you enter the concourse, you will need to park it in a designated area. So, yes, you will need to be able to transfer.
Now, when you sit down in your chair, note the red height indicator next to you. If anyone in your party falls under this indication, which will typically consist of children and little people, then grab the gray strap on the seat and thread the seatbelt through the loop. This will stop them sliding out of their chair from under the seatbelt.
Your carry-on is also important. Store all of it in the underseat compartment. You won't be permitted to hold anything in your hands or lap. Hats and other loose articles, these little beauties, stow them under or pocket them. If you have too much stuff or your bag is too big for the underseat compartment, leave it on the floor in front of you and an attendant will move it to a proper location. Otherwise, people kicking your stuff upon takeoff and landing will occur.
Service animals will not be permitted in the concourse building. For assistance, there's a help desk stationed at the ride's entrance to its immediate left, and the pre-show offers captions for the hearing impaired.
And one more thing, Soarin is located on the downstairs floor of a pavilion, Epcot's Future World Pavilion called The Land. The only way to reach the attraction is to take the stairs, the escalator, and the elevator, all located in front of the Garden Grill restaurant. Because remember, when you enter the pavilion, the only way to get in is at the top floor.
Alright. Recommendations. I don't know. Anyone who'd love the feeling of flying?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's hard not to love the exhilaration of the wind in your face, the feeling of just pure freedom. I'll tell you, folks, I've told Silver Clock this story 100 times. My mother doesn't do Disney rides. She really doesn't get into theme parks in general, though she does enjoy Epcot's World Showcase and all of Animal Kingdom's animal exhibits. I brought her on Soarin', and she not only giggled like a little girl, but she rode it twice. That, to me, was impressive.
Now that seems to tell me that this is the kind of ride that definitely appeals to all ages. In fact, I think, Tap G, you had said earlier, the only people who wouldn't like it are those who are afraid of heights or afraid of flying. Otherwise, you're just going to have an absolute blast.
So yeah, Soarin'. Great technology, great visuals, and great Disney storytelling at its finest.
Absolutely a must-see. But you may want to get a Fast Pass early. They tend to run out by early afternoon. Fast Passes there disappear faster than a plane ticket on Christmas Eve.
You know, if Disney was smart, they could add a few more elements to make it a little more realistic.
Really? Like what?
Well, offhand, I'd say, unopenable bag of peanuts, a drink cart, full-body pat-down at the security gate.
What? No! Why would you want that?
Hey, I said realistic. I never said I wanted it.
Well, that's all we have for today. Until next time, I'm Surfer Clock.
And I'm Tap G.
And thanks for listening to What's the Attraction?
Where our work is your vacation. So trays up, chairs upright, cell phones off, and enjoy your flight.